Hello and welcome again. In today's video, I am going to share what I have been doing in all the time I have not been making any YouTube videos. So we are going to explore what is the future plan for Club of Coders and how things are going with this website. Other than this, I am also going to share the SaaS web applications I am working on and the mobile applications I am working on. I have a few other plans for the YouTube channel, and I'm going to be very consistent in making content from now on. The last video was, let's see, when we have published the last video. So this video was published like 2 months ago, and now I plan to start making content consistently. Okay, so it's time to be consistent on YouTube. So you can expect a lot of content in upcoming days. You already know that I always tell this thing in every other video when I come back to my YouTube channel, but this time I'm sure I'm going to be consistent. I've been working on a few SaaS products I can share with you. I have released QuizWizard.ai, which is an AI quiz generator, and you can use this to embed AI quizzes on your website. Yeah, you can see here, you can create a quiz and then you can embed it on your website. So this is a SaaS, and I have partnered with someone who is doing marketing for it. And yeah, so I work on this sometime, and I am also plan to release a few other SaaS applications as well. Other than that, I have been working on the future for Club of Coders. So here you can see a 5-day challenge is live on the website. In this channel, currently you can see this is the old video full stack challenge, but now I am going to release a 5 days fully stack e-commerce web application challenge, and the tech stack we are going to use is the same stack we use, T3 stack with Next.js, Tailwind CSS and everything. So we are going to build a fully stack e-commerce web application with an admin panel. If we are able to build that part in 5-day challenge, it's not going to lengthy, but it's a lot of values. Like we are going to learn Drizzle, ORM, we are going to learn authentication with Supabase and stuff. So this is going to be a great way if you haven't done any programming also. So you will learn a lot of stuff. You will learn how to ship full stack web applications from scratch. Fast, not fast, faster basically. It's a great way to learn new stuff. Also, I have released a lifetime pricing on my channel. I have removed all the courses on Udemy. And now you can access all the content, all the previous content. You can see this all content you can access, and you can sign up for lifetime, or you can purchase a single course. But of course, the one course is expensive, and you can purchase the whole lifetime membership and everything and every other course as well for the future. I am in the plan to release a few more courses. So brainstorm what we can do here. Okay. So this is the latest course we have on the website. It's a fully stack AI song generator application. It uses Create T3 Turbo Stack, which you can see over here, how to use React Native with gRPC. And this is the part of this course which I have published on YouTube. And if you want to learn the full course, you can join the lifetime membership and you can access this course for life. Other than that, I'm going to publish more courses on clubofcoders.com website. That's one thing. Okay. So a few other things. First thing is 5-day challenge. Second thing is lifetime pricing is live on Club of Coders website. Third thing we are going to do is I am going to publish daily tutorials, which will contain everything you need to know about building end-to-end web applications and end-to-end mobile web applications. Okay. And production ready, full stack mobile and web applications. And we are living in the age of AI, and things are going very well, and we can build and ship and deploy full stack web application faster now using ChatGPT and all the AI tools we have. So we are going to build smaller web applications. So today's plan is, so there are 2 announcements. 5-day challenge. If you want to enroll in 5-day challenge, you can enroll, and I will send you one video each day on your email. You will receive daily about building a fully stack e-commerce web application end-to-end, and we are going to use Next.js and T3 stack and ChatGPT and everything you can do to build this web applications faster. And we are going to understand each bit of the course, each part of the course, and you can just put your details here and sign up. It's totally free. You don't have to pay anything for this 5-day challenge. If you want to join all the premium courses and you want to build full stack SaaS application and earn real money using your SaaS applications, or if you want to sell them, you can sell them. There are a lot of ways you can earn money using SaaS applications that you can learn to build, and then you can do anything you want. You can market them, you can grow your user base, you can add features. And I am doing the same thing. I am building Quiz Wizard. You can see here, this is a website, and we are building it and we are growing it, and a few other SaaS apps also in the process of building. And you can do the same thing. You can learn to build full stack development, and you can learn to build AI SaaS web applications and earn real money using this stuff. So other than that, what's the plan of this video? So in this video, we are going to build a tool that will help our channel, this Club of Coders channel, to decide what future content we are going to publish. So I can't decide what to publish and what to record and what to do. Okay, so today's plan is to build a very minimal application that can be built in like 1-2 hours, and after editing it, it will be like less than 1 hour. Okay, so let's go to Excalibur and understand what is the tool that can help Club of Coders to organize and publish content more like on the voting basis. Okay, so like you can see, I randomly publish anything that comes to my mind. I want you to decide what should I record. I want you to decide what should I publish, so that I can know what are the stuff you are interested in, and then I can record accordingly. So this is the way you will also benefit, and I will also get a better understanding of what my audience want to learn. Okay, so now here we are going to build a tool that is a very basic voting tool, and I'm going to publish it on Club of Coders, coders.com/, and we are going to publish it on, like we can say, /voting or something. And when we go here, what we will do, you will see a bunch of topics, and you will be able to vote. So there are a few things, and you can also submit a topic, and you can also vote it yourself, so and share it with others. So a few things, a few functionalities which we are going to build in today's video, in today's tutorial. We are going to use T3 Stack. I still use Next.js pages directory. I still haven't moved to App Router, but I will see if in the future I get request of using App Router, then I will use App Router. That's not the problem. It's the solution that is required, that is likely to be purchased by customer. Customers don't care about what is the tech stack you are using, but yeah, a good tech stack always helps to ship things faster, to help us build stuff faster. So this voting thing, what is the idea? So it's basically dashboard. Here we will say a button on the top. You can say these are the voting stuff. Here you can see this is a production application, and I'm going to deploy everything in real time. So you will see how I do. Okay, so it's not like a thing, and I will deploy this on real time on clubofcoders.com. So you will be able to see, and you will be able to test it on your own. So this is the basically voting. I don't know what should I call this. We will ask ChatGPT. We will ask ChatGPT what should we name this route. So let's call this voting now, and there will be a button on the top over here that will say add your idea. What's the idea you have about the video? Okay, and these are the ideas which are already, let's say idea 1, idea 2, idea 3. We are brainstorming the UI part, and then we will proceed to build this application. And it's a very simple idea, and we will build it very fast. If you don't understand what I'm doing, join the 5 days e-commerce challenge, and you will learn everything how to build a fully stacked web application end-to-end from scratch. The stack I'm using at Club of Coders. Okay, so I'm using Next.js 13 pages router. I'm using TRPC. I'm using Tailwind. I'm using, there's the thing you need to care about, and the ORM is Prisma plus Postgres DB. And everything is hosted using something called Coolify. I really want to promote it because it's a great software that will help you to self-host your stuff online. I don't use Vercel anymore for my most of the application. I still use Vercel, and only the free part, because I'm afraid that when I'm sleeping, someone might DDoS on my website, and Vercel will send me a huge bill. So I'm afraid of that. That's why I don't use Vercel anymore. But yeah, a few other internal application and the things I do not worry much about, I use Vercel for that. Okay, so this is Coolify, and it's a great software. You can buy a cloud online using Herzner. This is a great cloud provider. Herzner, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. So you can see, you can purchase, you can rent a dedicated server for a few dollars, like $20-$25, a dedicated server, and you can host a lot of front end and back end and database, Redis, anything you want using this. It's like Railway or DigitalOcean or Heroku, but it is hosted on your own, what do we say? It is hosted on your own cloud, on your own rented machine. So you do not have to worry about if someone might shut down your website from their hosting providers. So this is a good thing to use, okay? So self-hosting with superpowers. Another thing is, let's go. So I am using Coolify to host Cloud Folders, everything. Database, front-end, back-end, everything. We already have front-end, back-end combined using our Next.js application. So yeah, Coolify does this nicely, So yeah, let's see. So this is only you need to care about. This is the stack I'm using, and we will use this stack to build this basic boilerplate or basic app that will help us to decide what should I record and what should I publish on my YouTube channel. Cool. So add your idea. When someone clicks this button, a model will open. Here you can say a model, and in the model we will add a form, and the form will have a few stuff. Add your video idea. Basically we can say video idea, and here we can say about, tell us about your idea, and here we can say video title. Okay, this is the thing we are going to video title and tell us about your idea, and here we will have a button that will say submit, and when this is submitted we will show it here and people will be able to vote on this idea. So upvote and downvote, we will have both. So this is like a Reddit but for deciding over video. So that's all. It's a simple idea, you can see, and we will build it now. So let's go. I will open my production repository, which let me open desktop project. So you can see this is a production repository, and we will open Visual Studio Code and we will start coding this web application. If you want to start on your own, so it's like more like a feature I want to release on Club of Coders, but I am doing it in public because I want to share what I'm doing, and I also wanted to announce a few stuff that I have said to you when I have started recording this video. So yeah, let me git pull if someone has. So we have some stuff here, that's cool. Now if you want to do the same thing, let's not use this now, and we will create a new project for this thing. Okay, so that you can also follow along with me. For this, let's go to change directory. We will create a folder, and I will say it voting video idea voting simple application. You will see how we build this application very fast using the T3 stack, and you can do this on your own. So that's why we use T3 stack. It's super fast. Like basically you are on, I can't say how much I admire this stack, and people say that customers don't care about, and I do say, but this stack is like legendary. Okay, I don't know if I'm getting used to it, but yeah, I don't know, whatever. So now we are inside the folder, but let's go to here and we will use create T3 stack starter kit. So create T3 stack, go here, copy this, copy the pnpm command, and let's do it. We can say video idea voting web app. We want to use TypeScript, Tailwind yes, TRPC yes, authentication. No, we don't need authentication. It is a public app. Anybody can submit their idea, and it's like anonymous. Okay, so yeah, we don't want to make the app complex. We are just making it public now. But when I implement this functionality inside my clubofcoders.com repository, what will happen is I will use a protected procedure that is a thing inside TRPC that you will learn if you watch my other videos. But yeah, in this video, you don't have to worry about authentication, so you can choose none. We don't need authentication, and we are going to use Prisma because it is easy and it's good. Okay, it's slow sometimes, but yeah, it is good enough for a basic project. So select Prisma. Do you want to use Next.js app router? So here I have told you already that I still stick to pages directory, and I like the pages directory, so I would say no. And for the database, I'm going to use Postgres database. You can use anything. You can use SQLite, or let's use Postgres for now. Should we initialize a Git repository? Yes, because I will initialize a Git repository and publish it as a repo online and share a link with you so that you can cross check if something goes wrong while you are building this web application. npm yes @ now you can see it will take a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds, and it should be done. I will get back to you. Now, as you can see, the repository, the boilerplate code is completed, and now we will go into the repository and start building the web application. Open the Visual Studio Code. If you don't have the proper extensions, install the extensions like auto rename tag, ES7 Redux React Native snippets, and a few others you can see over here. So mostly these two are very important, ES7 and this snippet one and this auto rename tag. These both are, and this Tailwind CSS IntelliJ. These three extensions are important if you are watching this tutorial and following along. Okay. Now what we will do, we will start the application. Here you can see in the env we have this Postgres and the local Postgres database string, and here we have the database string. If you go to in the schema, here you can see we have our Prisma schema. Here we will design our model. So let's design the model first and then we will start the application. So what we have? We have, first of all, yes, we have post, and we can call them post or we can call them ideas or anything. So let's call them video ideas. Okay, and this is good. Auto increment, name of the idea, created it, updated it, and the thing is about string, and this is also required. About description, idea description, or we can say it description. Okay, so this is our video idea model, which is a database structure of our table. And then we have, each can have votes. Okay, so we can say model vote, and it has ID, it has video idea ID, and it is referenced to this tab. So if you go to Prisma document and you can search, you can follow along what I'm doing. This is the fastest way to build the application. Okay, you can search Prisma reference field. Okay, and you can basically, we need to search the relations between this. You can see one user can have many posts, and this is how it is presented. But what do we need is a vote. A video idea can have many votes. Okay, so here what we can do, we can say votes, and we can say like this, and you can just need to save it, and automatically the video idea will be over here. So instead of video idea, here we can see we have video idea ID, and we have this video idea table inside our vote. I haven't done anything, it is automatically done by Prisma. If you remove this, and if you hit the command plus save on your machine, you can see it is automatically being populated nicely. So now we have video idea and we have ID, which is reference to this. A video idea can have many votes. Okay, and a vote is done by person. And we also want, anybody can vote this, and we also want a vote like a count. Okay, so what we can do is, every time a user visits our website, we can assign a local storage value to the user, and that's all. If the user upvotes, we can associate it with the local storage ID. Okay, so here we can say the user ID over here. So so we need to assign a user, because a user can vote, and we need to assign a thing here. Or what we can do, we can leave it, we can allow user to upvote a video as many as times as he can, and this is also doable. So what we will do, we will just not forget about the user, we will just allow the users to upvote a video idea as many times as they want. But with local storage, we will prevent that. So prevention is, so we will see how we do that in the browser. But for now, for designing the database, I am thinking the structure and I am speaking it out loud, so you can also get into my mind what I am thinking, and you can also think like I am thinking, and then you will be able to build the application like I am building. Okay, so this model has ID, name a video idea, description is about the idea, votes. A video idea can have many votes, upvote or downvote. So here we can say, when a user does upvote, we will remove that vote, and when a user does when a user does downvote, we will remove the vote, and when a user does vote, we will just add a new row into this database table. Okay, and then we can remove that. But now the problem is, how do we reference without recognizing the user? So we need a local storage ID over here. Okay, so we need a user ID. So user ID, which can be a string, and it can be anything. It will come from the browser, which we will assign randomly. But in the future, if you are using authentication, then this thing can be referenced to your user table. Okay, and this is also like which user has created this idea, and here we will have user ID. So which user has voted on this idea, which user has voted on this idea. That's why this user ID is necessary. And here is the video idea owner ID, and here it is whom voted this video. And then when the user delete, and when a user deletes a video idea, not delete, but when a user downvote a video idea, what will happen is we will delete first. What will happen is, let's say user, we have ID in local storage. Now we have ID. This is happening in browser. Okay, so don't worry. I am presenting you the whole flow of how this application will work. If you understand this, then after this everything will be very smooth. So flow of things. User ID in local storage creates an idea, upvote it. Okay, so we will send the user ID in the request body, and we will use this ID to create a video idea. Okay, then upvote. How this will happen? We will send again the ID, send user ID in from local storage, and we will send the user ID from local storage to the user, upvote, and then we will create an upvote with assigning. We will also send user ID, and we will also send the post, or we can say the video idea ID, and we will use this both values to upvote this. And when the downvote happen, what will happen is send user ID and video idea ID, and we will delete a record from the table. And when the fetching, we will fetch all ideas with votes and downvotes. Okay, but we need to track the downvotes. If we delete, we can't track. So what we will do, how we can track this? We can create another table which is downvote, or we can assign a boolean value if it is downvote or upvote. So here we can say is upvote, here we can say it is boolean, and it is default is true, because if someone votes, this is default is true, and we will toggle this false. We will use is upvote false, so it means it is downvote. So we will delete. Instead of delete, we will update a record from the table using both of these keys, both of these values inside this table, and we will update a record from the table, and we will say that this is a downvote. This will be counted as downvote, and we will update and fetch the new votes and stuff. So fetch all ideas with votes and down, just like it. That's the whole application. It is very simple. The only thing which is catch is user ID that is assigned randomly to a user when he first visits the application. Okay. So this is a very simple web application, and it is a full stack web application that you can learn by watching this video. If you are watching till now, that's very good. Now we have created a database schema. What we will do? We can use a local PostgreSQL, or we can use a remote PostgreSQL database. You can go to Supabase. They provide free PostgreSQL instance, or you can go to any other. Okay, so let's go to railway.com. I don't know, railway.app and dashboard. Yeah, let's sign in with GitHub. We'll create a database instance. What is happening? I don't know. Yeah, you can choose a plan, $5 a month. I don't know. I want to continue. So new project. I just need a PostgreSQL. You have used. Okay, so I just want to create a temporary, so we can just deploy a Postgres and we can directly use it. You go to railway.app/new and you will be able to use a database instance on your own. This is a temporary product. It will be related in 24 hours, and you can sign it to make it yours. It is deploying a Postgres, and here we have database URLs which we can use now. Let's go to variables, and here is our database URL. We can copy this, we can paste it here, and now we need to migrate our database. For that, what we can do, go to package.json. Here you can see we have a db push command. So go to your terminal, open the terminal by using Ctrl plus tilde on your keyboard. Tilde is the key beneath the escape key. Okay, so you can also open the terminal from here. Okay, like this, and you can run npm run db push, and the schema that you have created will be migrated. Okay, it is what it is saying. Okay, is it running on pg host? This is private URL, this is public URL, and we want to get the access of it. Yeah, in the env, paste here, run db push again. Let's see. Okay, if can't reach database, let me check if my internet connection is working. Test speed. Yeah, it is working. Then why I can't access the PG host, roundhouse, proxy, railway, PG port, 4375, railway, PG user, Postgres DB. It's correct. I don't know what. Okay, so let's run nbx prisma db push. It's the same command, and yeah, can't reach database server. I think it is not allowing us to connect. Let me check it. PostgreSQL. Engine type. Okay, you can see this is saying connect. I have created a dummy table here to test if it is working, and connect to our Postgres. Let's connect this row PSQL. So let's run this command and see if it is working or not. Yeah, it is working. You can see it is working, and let's copy this thing and see if it will work. Yeah, now it is working. So I've created a dummy table and I have connected it using this, and now you can see our database is now in sync. So you have to go to data and use this connect, then it will work. You can see we have two tables here, vote and video idea, and now we will create our application. To run the application, just run a command pnpm run dev, and here we have our application running and ready to go. Let's go to local storage, local 3000. You can see we have hello from TRPC. Now we will create a basic structure for our application using Next.js and Tailwind CSS. So go to index pages, video, idea, voting, app, created using create T3 app. That's all. Here we can say, let's delete everything. Can create columns 1, columns 2. We do not want two columns, but here gap 4 is okay. And that's all we want. Here we will fetch and show all the ideas. So let's create a fake array. So here you can go array dot from, you can say length 5, you can map through them, and this is a basic app. Here you can say idea name, idea description, just like that. Save this thing. You can see we have, and let's style it a little bit using Tailwind CSS, BG white, padding 6, rounded XL. Save this, looking good. Let's give it width full. Okay, width full. Now it is better. Hello from TRPC instead of, yeah, here you can see this is a use query hook, which is basically it is an API and we are calling it like that. So inside the server, inside the API, inside the post, you can see these are the routers. And now what we can do, we can remove them all. We don't need it, and we can rename this router to video idea, or yeah, video voting router. Okay, save this inside the server, inside API, inside routers, voting to TS. Remove everything. Here inside the root, you can see we have a few steps. Remove post router because we have deleted it. Remove this as well. Here, if you can go to TRPC, here you can see we have a few stuff, and that is if you want to integrate authentication, you will do it over here. When creating a context, you will create authentication logic, and that's all. You don't need to worry about this boilerplate code much. Here, the one thing is to be careful is this is public procedure. It means this router or this procedure is public and anybody can access it. Anybody can use this procedure. And if you are using authentication procedure, then we have to define another procedure, which is export const authenticated procedure, and we will use some logic so that user can't go through the pipeline. So assume it is a pipe. Public procedure is hollow pipe, and in the authentication we will have a few disks in the between to check if the user is authenticated or not. And if you want to create more disk, more logic in the pipe, in the authentication pipe, you can create more, what we will say, more disk, more friction. You can first check if it is authenticated. You can check if they have done the payment. Then you can check if they have done anything else, or if they are the correct owner of the current thing they want to access, or a lot more other thing you can do. But for now, let's keep it simple. This is a public procedure which anybody can access. Remember, what do I mean by anybody can access? It means this route is not protected. This route can be accessed by any anonymous user without even to be authenticated. Okay, so they don't need to sign up or log in to access all these routes. So we will use this to create APIs. Okay, so let's go to voting.ts, and here we will create all the APIs. So let's create the APIs we need. So in the export, so we will export the router from here, voting router. Just follow along and you will understand how easy it is. Voting router, and we will say create TRPC router. Inside the TRPC router, we will say get all ideas with votes, just like we have brainstormed during designing the DB. Here you can see fetch all ideas with what. So first we are creating this API. So how many APIs we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have 4 APIs. Okay, so 4 APIs. That's all we need. Upvote, vote, downvote, upvote, downvote, fetch all, and creates an idea. That's all the API we need. So first let's design get ideas with ports, and we will use the public procedure here. You can see it is automatically imported from TRPC, and this is public procedure, and we can use query, and it is using some cool stuff over here. It is TRPC magic. Here you can see here we have public procedure. This means anybody can go through the pipe. They don't need to be authenticated. Here we have a function. It is basically the function logic, what we are going to do inside the context. We have the database, and what we can do, get all ideas from DB. Here we will get all the ideas from DB. So we will say await DB dot video idea dot find many. We are getting all the ideas, and here we will say select, or we can say, we can say select. Instead of select, let's use the include here. It is just the ORM stuff we are doing. We are not doing anything with TRPC now. This is database stuff. This is TRPC stuff. This is Tailwind stuff. This is HTML, title, meta, link. Okay, so everything is here. So this is a full stack application you are building over here. So get all ideas from DB, include ports, and here we can say where the is upvote is true. So let's count all the, okay, so let's count all the upvotes, and here we can say select, not select. Here we have an option of count. I don't know if, here we have a count option, true. So this will return the count of all the words inside this idea, and it will filter them by is upvote is true, and we can use get all ideas from DB. But here we also need downvotes. So for that, what to do? So for now, I think we can omit this where clause. We can get all the upvotes and downvotes, and then we can, on the UI, we can directly say that if it is upvote, then mark it as is upvote. If it is downvote, mark it as down. Okay. So here we can say count. Inside count, we have a few things. Select, and we can select words. Here we can say inside count, select. I am not doing anything. It is all TypeScript. You can see inside select, inside words, inside where. Here we don't need the where clause. So we will just say, if you want to more filter the stuff, you can go through this Prisma stuff. But here we will just say select words. Here you can see select words, and we can say true. So count all the words. So if you hover over this, you can see we are getting all the count of all the words. Okay, that's cool. But this is not how we want. Basically, it is returning how many words this video idea has, but also we need words. Okay, so we need words inside it, and include, not include in the select. I think we have the count option here. Okay, so we can select the words over here. So I think we need to use the select over here, because we don't want to return all the columns inside the words table. So find many, and here we have a few options. First of all, we want to take all. You can specify how many you want to take, how many you want to skip. So you can implement pagination if you want. So DB video idea, find many. Here you can say select. Inside select, we can count this, but we do not want to count. If you use this count, it will count this video idea, but we do not want to count this. We want to count words. Okay, that we can count by using the words. Here it will return all the words, and in the words, we only need to select the word ID. We only need to select the word. Anything else, if you want to select user ID, video idea, anything, but we don't need. The other thing we need is this upvote or not. So this is a thing is needed for verifying if it is an upvote or download. So that's the whole thing we need, and we can simply return this stuff over here simply. But it is, you can see it is only returning the words. We also need the video title and description. So for that, come here and control plus space, and then you can say name also true, and we also need description, and we can order them. We can sort them basically. So order by, and here we can say created it, and we can say order them by latest idea on the top, or the older idea. Let's keep the older idea on top. Okay, because the older idea should get more upvotes than the newer one, or we can sort them like in any order, but let's keep it that way. This is the one API we have created. For another API, we are not going to create it on our. We can just ask ChatGPT to do it for us. Okay, and you will see how easy it is to ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will do it for us. The main thing here is, here we will ask ChatGPT do it for us. Why? Because now we have AI and we can use the AI to increase our productivity and ship our application faster. Here we can say I have created the fourth function like above, create 2 and 3. But it will not do it correctly because we are using latest technology stuff, and ChatGPT don't know about TRPC and this stuff much. But it is doing. Yeah, it knows. I was not sure that it will do it, but it has done. It has also done a few improvements in our Prisma model schema, and now you can just copy them and paste it inside our TRPC server, and now you can see it is working nicely and good. But here it has done a few mistakes and we are going to improve them. It is saying that input has these things. It has correctly identify that create post and create downvote are what? Create upvote and create downvote are post routes. So that's why we are using mutation. It is a get route. That's why we are using a query over here. So public procedure. And here what we can do, here we can say input and we can use Zod to identify, or we can say to make the schema. User ID, it is z.string. Video idea ID, it is also z. I don't know what it is z. Let's also include the ID over here. It is int, I think. Okay, it is number. Yeah. So z.number. User ID is z.string. Video ID is z.number. That's all. And that's the same thing we need to do over here as well. Public procedure input z.object, correct. And now you can see here we need to use this thing, and it is int. That's why. Okay, so ChatGPT improved our schema and find a mistake. This is int, but if you use unique user ID and video ID, so basically a user can only upvote or download. A user can't upvote or download at the same time. User can either upvote or either download. That's why it is unique is necessary. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to push this thing inside our DB. Okay, so it is saying I can't reach. So let's see if it is server closed. Okay, so this, I don't know why it is not working. It is failing sometimes and sometimes. That happens because we don't have a paid account. So let me just go to my Railway in main account and create a dummy PostgreSQL instance so that we can use it. Let's delete this. We don't need it now. This sucks. Close this. Let me create a new DB instance. It is being created and now it is up. Variable inside database URL. Now we have a real database, and what we will do is we will push this. It will work because it is from a paid account. You can use a local PostgreSQL, but you can sign up for a free account. It's or $5 per month. It's basically free, and that's all you need to do. Now it is working. You can use Supabase also. You just need a database PostgreSQL string and it will work. So now we have a unique constraint over here, and here you can see we are using an upsert operation because if it already exists, user ID and video ID already exist, then we can do it over here where you can see where user ID is user ID and video ID is. Instead of this, we just need to do this. Okay, it is saying so we need to use some AND operation. Okay, let's refresh the whole, reload the window so it can get the new schema and type script schema. Now we have this composite key over here, and we can say user ID, video ID is just like ChatGPT gave us. Here you can see user ID and video ID. User ID and video ID. And if it already exists, then update the value to is upvote false or create this thing. So these are our 3 routes. ChatGPT couldn't able to complete it on the first go, but it was a minor fix that we have did by ourselves, and now it is good to go. Now go to here, we have our 3 routes. Here we can say, okay, we also need to create a idea. Okay, so we can tell it also create idea router. So now you can see it has created a create idea router for us. So let's go to here, and okay, so this is create about where it's create idea. This one is creator. So now we have a few stuff over here. We can use the same thing, z.object, name is z.string, description is also z.string, and user ID is also z.string, which we can copy it from here, paste it over here, and we have our new idea. That's what we need to do. This simple to create full stack application these days. And if you want to create a much more complex application, just like a SaaS application, you can check out Cloudflower's lifetime pricing and lifetime courses, and you can learn to build complex web application, mobile applications using real payments and all that cool stuff. Now we need to create idea. We can use API, but now if we go to root, we didn't define anything over here, so we need to define. So we can say voting router, and we can import the voting router over here. We can just say voting like this, API.voting. Now we have access to all the 4 APIs we have created. So get idea with votes, use query. Now we have 2 other things, upvote and downvote. Okay, so first let's import the get all ideas with votes, API.voting.get all ideas with votes, use query, and then we can, instead of this, we can use get idea dot is success and dot data dot, and here we have idea. Inside the idea we have the idea name, we have idea description, we have idea dot id, and we have votes inside it. So for votes, what we can do, we can wrap this inside another division and use this division again. We can use flex, justify between items center, and that's all. We can remove this index, we don't need it for now. Maybe in the future we may need it. And here we can create two buttons. We can create a vote, and here we can say downvote, just like this. Let's keep this simple because I want to make this tutorial very short. I just want to sprinkle on all the concept that is needed to build a full stack app using Create T3 stack. Okay, so in the upvote we can use upvote mutation, upvote idea, API.voting.upvote, create upvote.use mutation, and the same thing we will do for create downvote mutation. So when we click this on click, we will use dot mutate, and inside the mutate, first of all, when the user will go to this page, we will create a random, we will use a use state, random user ID, and we will assign it undefined for now. We will use a use effect hook. There are a lot of concepts involving, but all of them are very easy to understand. Use effect hook runs when you first loads the web application, and when this loads, we will get the user ID from local storage if it already exists. So we will say local storage dot get item user. We can say voting. We can say club of coders voting app ID user ID, and we can extract it on top so that we can use this key again and again. Const local storage key, and we can use this over here. So this will get us an string or null. If this exists, and what we will do, we will set the random user ID key to got user ID if it already exists. Okay, we can say it can be a string or it can be undefined, just like this. If it doesn't exist, what we will do, we will create a random UUID. Okay, so for that, random ID is equal to crypto dot random UUID. It will generate a random UUID, and what we can do, we will set local storage dot set item and local storage key, and we will set this random key to storage. And what we can do, we can also set this user ID over here, set random ID, just like it. This is the whole logic for recognizing a user. That's all. If the user ID already exists, set it. If it doesn't exist, create one, assign to local storage, and set to this. Okay, and this already runs one time. That's all. And now we can use this random user ID inside our application. So if not random user ID, we can return, and if basically we do not want, if it doesn't exist, which will exist. Okay, so it can't happen, but yeah, for the TypeScript we are doing this. So user ID is random user ID, and here we have say video ID, which is idea dot ID. That's same thing we need over here as well. So we can copy the whole thing, we can paste it over here. Instead of downvote, we will say create downvote. That's all. And we can disable this button when this is loading. So create downvote is pending, and here we can say it is disabled when create downvote is pending. The best practice is to extract this whole thing into a new component over here. So let's upvote downvote, and this is a React component that we are going to implement to extract this component. It is the best practice to do this. What we can do, we can cut this thing. We just need a user ID over here. So we can define a user ID like this, user ID string. What is this? This is a way of defining the types inside TypeScript and React. Here we have our user ID, and that's all. We can remove this. We can do user ID, but we don't need it. We can directly do one thing here. We can do like this, and we also need the video idea ID. So like this, simple. And we can remove this as well. So the same thing we need. What is it? Okay, so it is number. So let's assign it as a number. That's cool. Let's do the same thing over here, and that's all we need. You can also show a loading state if you want, and it's your task. Use just like if it is pending, let me do it for it, and you can do it for downvote. If it is pending, create upvote. Okay, this is downvote, it is upvote, so upvote idea. Here we have to fix it. So upvote idea is pending, so you can say it is loading, otherwise it is like this. And create download is, you can do the same thing for create download as well. And now we will use this component over here. We have removed it from here, and we can use this whole component over here. Div, we can use this component, and we can pass the user ID, which is this random user ID, and the other thing it needs is video ID, and it is idea.id. And if random user ID exists, then show this, otherwise don't show this upvote download button. Let's make this the idea name bigger, so Excel. Let's make this shorter, text assume and font light, and here we can remove this voting YouTube idea voting, just like this. Create idea. Now we just need a create idea also. So for that, on top I have said that I'm gonna create a model, a dialog. For that, what you can do, go to ShadeCN, and you can use this ShadeCN UI dialog. You can go to get started and install this by following all the commands, and then use copy and paste. Just you need to copy and paste the dialog from here. So this dialog you just need to copy and paste, and then it's good to go. But for now I am just keeping it very simple. So here we have a input of text, and name is idea name, ID is idea name, and here we have the same thing for description, idea description. The two input over here, we have a simple form, we have a button which is submit button, and create. What it will do is it will submit an idea basically. Instead of creating, we will say submit an idea, and when this is on submit, it get an image. So we will prevent default. What it means is we will prevent the browser to refresh. So that's what it does. And then we will use this create idea, and here we need two state basically. So we will define use state form values, set form values. We have name, we have description. You can see this is a state. It's like a variable that holds our values and re-renders the component when it is changed. So set form value. Here what we will do, the value is form values dot name, and when it is on changed, it accepts event, and we can say set form values previous values, get the previous values and return the previous values unchanged, and change the name to event dot target dot value, just like this. Save this thing, and we need to copy the both thing over here and here. And what we can do, we can change the description. You can see we are assigning the values. It is description, it is name from the form values, and we are changing the state every time user enters something over here. And to make it beautiful, to make the input beautiful, we will copy the input from here. So ShadeCN UI, go to here. This looks good. I will copy the code. Manual expand. I will just copy these styles. This will make our button, this will make our input better. Copy paste, and we can also copy the button, but yeah, let's not use the button for now. Instead of BG background, we will say gray 300, text muted. Instead of text muted, we'll say gray 200. Instead of ring, what we will do, we will say ring black. And border input, so instead of border input, we'll say border black. So the previous were variables, and we have changed those variables to Tailwind CSS classes. And now let's start our application and test this out. We have created the whole full stack application now. That is very cool. So refresh the localhost, close everything. You can see we have the input over here, YouTube idea voting app. Okay, it is way bigger. Text 5 Excel, we don't need it. Text Excel, and we don't have any idea. That's why they are not appearing. We need to create an idea, and after creating it, so what we can do, we can create an idea once someone submits the form. So create idea dot mutate. Here we okay. So create idea is query. Okay, this is not a query basically. Okay. Voting dot create. Okay, let me fix this. Create idea, and here is use mutation dot mutate. Here we will pass user ID, which is random user ID, name, which is form values dot name, description, form values dot description. Here we can do a basic validation. If random user ID not available, or form values dot name dot trim is equal to empty string, or form values dot description dot trim dot is equal to this, then we can return simply, and we can return alert, please enter correct values, just like it. If name trim, okay, so the trim is used for removing the spaces from front and from the back of the string. That's all. Okay, this should work now. So you can see we have the form, basic form, and it is not looking good, much good. So we'll give some classes to it. So max with Excel, BG white, rounded Excel. Let's give it some shadow, and the gray is not looking very good. BG gray, let's give it 100. Remove the BG gray 300 over here. Yeah, it is better. And we can also give it flex column and some margin between the elements of this container. Flex column space Y4, and we can give it some margin over 10, and that's all we need to do here. Some margin and some padding. Okay, so yeah, so let's use lorem ipsum. Generate paragraph. Here we can generate an idea, lorem, and we can submit an idea. If you open the console, you can see our idea is being created, but we didn't go to the idea over here. For that, we need to revalidate the response. So when this is success, so here it accepts more stuff. So when it is success, we can say invalidate the whole router. For that, use const utils API dot use utils, and here we can say utils dot invalidate. It will invalidate, or basically refresh the whole router. Okay, what it is saying, promises must be away. Okay, and it is async await void. Okay, what it is saying, promise return function to property where a void return was. It is happening because of the ESLint. You don't need to think about it much. It is just TypeScript, the ESLint no misuse property. Okay, promise returning function provided to void. Yeah, void return void, I think. I don't know, but you can avoid this by removing some packages over here. I don't like this both. Remove them both and run pnpm install again, and then refresh the whole thing, and the error will be gone. Now you can see it works. You can even remove the await because you don't need to await it. But yeah, and you can do the same thing for here as well, because we need to await after we create our photo download. We need to refresh all the stuff, but you can refresh the exact stuff if you want to, if you are more careful about fetching your APIs properly. Here we are building in a basic app, so it's overall good. Now we need to also show how many counts this post has, like upward and downward counts. Okay, so idea.force. So we can pass vote, and the vote will be, we can use the router outputs to use here. You can see get our votes, and inside here we can see number, here we can see votes, and here we can see. So this will accept is ID or is upvote the thing, but we need all the votes. Okay, we don't need an exact. So you can see we are getting an array of is upvote or not up. So here we can say how many upwards or downwards it has. So let's use this. So we need to count them basically. Okay, so let's use a use memo hook. Use memo hook basically used for expensive calculation. You can use it, or you can not use. You can use directly. It doesn't matter for this, but we are using it because it is a inside component and we want to make it efficient. So counted votes. We can say it changes every time a vote changes, and we can return. We can say a votes is equal to vote dot, instead of votes, let's say it votes. It's better. Votes dot map, or we can say filter x dot is upward, and we can say downwards like this. And these both are arrays, and we can return the count. A vote. We should do it. We can do this on the server, and that is a good practice. But yeah, we can also do it on client. But if the number of upwards and downwards are huge, like in the thousands, then it's best practice to do it on backend. Upwards count, upwards total length, downward counts, downwards total length, and then we can show it over here. Counted upwards count, and here we can say downwards count, just like this. This is how we are counting and doing all the stuff over here. That's all. And here we can pass the votes. Here we can pass idea.vote like this, and our voting application is completed. It's a very basic, simple, straightforward application which you can see we have created in just like 1.5 hours. You can see, and if we click upwards, you can see we have one upward. If we click downwards, it has now one downward. If we open in a new window, we can see we have one downward, and we can download it more. And now if we refresh it, we should be able to see 2 downward. So, and we can submit and do more ideas and more stuff over here. So this is how we have created a full stack voting application in just 1.5 hours. That's all. If you want to learn more about complex web application, how to build a SaaS application accepting payments using Stripe, using authentication, Supabase, AI, mobile application, iOS, deploying, and a lot more other stuff, then sign up on Club of Coders lifetime plan, and I will be throwing a lot of great content in Club of Coders very soon. Like I'm also going to create any random stuff daily, and I'm trying to be more consistent on YouTube and putting a lot of great content on daily basis. I'm sure that I will be able to be more consistent now, but yeah, I can't say that. But if you like this video, please like, share and enjoy. That's all. Bye.